Welcome to our monthly Mindfulness Mentor webinar series, where we take this time to explore how mindfulness can be used as a tool to cope with the symptoms of menopause. Skylar Griessel has joined us as our mindfulness mentor to talk to us today about mindfulness and body positivity. Women across the world all see their bodies change as time passes by, and sometimes it can be hard to be kind to your body if it is changing in a way that is maybe displeasing, especially during the menopause time. There are ways to reimagine the negative feelings women may internalize during the menopause journey, and Skylar will help us understand this better with some mindfulness practice that focuses on gratitude for the body. My name is Kim Fancher, and I will be your host today, and also with me here as Skylar to get us started on this important topic. Hello, Skylar. How are you doing
Hey,
today?
Kim. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Enjoying this time of the year where we really can be thankful for all around us.
Yes, yeah. Thanks for saying that. What a perfect time to practice gratitude. Thanks for having me. Okay, well, with that, we'll get started. I am really excited about the topic today because, as Kim said, I think this is something none of us are a stranger to. Most of us at any age have struggled with some body positivity or body affirmations. So that's what we're talking about. I'm also really excited because today is a lot of hands-on practice. So this is one of those presentations you can kind of put down your pen and piece of paper and just really be present, really be in the moment. So I want to thank you just for joining me today. As Kim said, my name is Skylar Griessel. I am a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher. I do a couple different things, but this is one of my passion projects. I really love health education. I really think mindfulness and meditation in general can help us cope with a number of things that we deal with and experience in our lives, including menopause. So kudos to you for showing up and doing the work today. Now, this is a series. The Mindfulness and Menopause series is designed to encourage women to embrace the change with kindness and self-compassion. Today is a lot about self-compassion, not just for the physical appearance, but the body as a tool and a vessel. Now, mindfulness practices have been proven to help women cope with a number of symptoms of menopause. Throughout this series, we've touched on a few different topics, so I'd like to take this opportunity and just review what we've talked about so far through 2024. Now, we went over hot flashes. We talked about mindfulness as a visualization tool, visualizing cooling sensations, maybe dipping our feet in a cool puddle of water or experiencing the wind on our face. We talked about the cooling breath or taco breath, if you remember that presentation, using breathing techniques to cool down the body. And we also talked about the vagus nerve, which is right at the base of your skull, it connects to your brainstem. We might touch on that a little today. We also talked about sleep problems. Now, you can use mindfulness to cope with sleep problems, brain fog, and confusion in a number of ways. Box breathing is one of those techniques that really connects you to the present moment. When we talk about brain fog, we can talk about different breathing practices that really help us focus in the present and kind of release our judgment and our confusion when we can't think of the exact word or remember what we walked into a room for. Both very normal things. And then for sleep, we talked a little bit about yoga nidra. These are long meditation practices that have a lot to do with body awareness, kind of going through mentally different parts of the body. That's another really good practice for body affirmations. When we talked about well-being, we kind of touched into the emotional side of menopause. We talked about visualization and 4-7-8 breathing for things like anxiety, reducing symptoms of depression, and increasing feelings of self-esteem and self-worth. Affirmation and reflection practices are also really good for this, so I hope you are practicing your affirmations or maybe posted a couple of them on the wall in a place that you see every day. I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am resilient, everything happening around me is happening for me, etc. It's important through every journey of our life, but especially through menopause, just to practice that positive mental attitude. It really does make a huge difference. We talked a little bit about libido. Last month, we talked about sexual desire or lack thereof. We talked about vaginal dryness and ways we can use mindfulness and kind of meditation techniques to really get into the body and kind of stir up some of those sensations if that is our goal, or just to accept ourselves where we are. Today is a lot about accepting ourselves where we are and not where we want to be. We're talking about body positivity. Kim mentioned there are a lot of aesthetic changes that happen through our lives, but especially during menopause. So we'll go through some of those common symptoms. You are not alone, right? You are not crazy. This is happening all over the world to lots of women all the time, which is a good thing because we know we can get through it together. That positive mental attitude is going to make a big difference. Now, to get started, we'll do a little settle-in activity, and I'm excited today includes a little bit of movement. So be kind to yourself through this practice. Technically, we're doing some seated yoga, but release yourself from any of those traditional yoga expectations. We're not doing any crazy bends or binds or headstands. We're just going to stay seated in our chair. So find a place you can be kind of comfortable. I'm going to tilt this back just so you can see me a little bit. As you're seated in your chair, you want your feet flat on the floor, so uncross those legs if you've got them crossed. That helps promote that good blood circulation and releases any tension. We don't want to be tight. We want to be kind of loose and open. Practice slow, controlled breathing through any of our stretches and use your exhale to sink deeper into a stretch. Now, I mentioned we're not getting too deep with anything today. Yoga is a really good practice to be present with your body, whether that looks like a practice in a chair, on the floor, or maybe more of a walking meditation practice out in nature, also very good for the body. Now, we're going to honor where we are and not where we think we should be, or maybe where we were when we were 18. We are here today, and we are experiencing this moment without judgment and without the need to alter anything. Look for areas in the body where you typically hold tension. For me, it's my jaw. I'll walk around the grocery store with clenched teeth, so keep the jaw loose. Keep the muscles around the eyes nice and loose. Keep the shoulders down away from your ears if that's where you typically hold your tension. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, in your nice, comfortable seat, go ahead and take a deep breath in. Exhale it out slow and controlled. Take a few more just like that. Just finding a little presence. Giving the mind some time to catch up with the body. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And as we become present, letting that exhale release a little tension already, maybe dropping the shoulders, relaxing the face. Exhaling out slow and controlled. Now I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable, just for the next few breaths. Tune into the physical body. What is happening physically? Do you feel the physical sensation of breathing, noticing your lungs fill up as you inhale, noticing the belly concave as you exhale? Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Move with the rhythm of your own breath. Notice, do you feel any tension? Do you feel any release? There's nothing you need to do with this information. Just notice. Just say hello to all those physical sensations in your body, whether we label them good or bad. Do you feel a heaviness in your muscles as they relax? Do you feel a lightness as you loosen your joints? Take one or two more deep breaths, and then we'll add some movement. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more. Feel yourself nourishing every cell in your body with oxygen. And as you exhale, release any tension, any tightness. Now, if your eyes were closed, I invite you to slowly blink them open. I'll ask you to disconnect the back from your chair if you were leaning back so you have this nice tall posture. We're straight in the spine, but not stiff. Now, just a couple stretches. We're going into a side bend, so I'm going to ask you to sweep those arms open and inhale as you reach them up towards the ceiling. Reach, finding length in the spine. As you exhale, you're going to drop one arm and leave one arm high, reaching both hands far away from each other, noticing a stretch in the lymphatic system. Inhale through center again, reach. Exhale, side bend the other way. Opening up the ribs, reminding the spine how flexible we are. Inhale, both arms up. One more time each side, just regular old side bends. This is a great opportunity to do this right when you wake up, kind of greeting the day. Inhale, stretch the spine tall. Exhale, lean over. Using the exhale to sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, stretch those arms all the way up one more time. Bring the hands to prayer and melt them down right in front of your heart. Now push the thumbs up against the sternum, drop those shoulders away from the ears, and just take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more breath right there, and just notice yourself breathe. Being present with the body. Release the hands, place them palms down on your thighs, going into seated cat-cow. As you inhale, I want you to push the heart forward, lift the chin, and stick the tailbone out behind you. As you exhale, round forward into cat, tucking the chin and pelvis, pushing the spine behind you like a Halloween cat. Inhale up for cow, and exhale, round forward for cat. Couple more each direction. Follow the rhythm of your own breath. Don't let me rush you. Don't let me slow you down. We are being mindful with the body, honoring where we are and not where we think we should be. If you're with me, this is my last cow. If you're with me, this is my last cat. Slowly bring the spine back to a neutral position. Let's give these shoulders a little internal massage, hanging the arms gently at our sides. Inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, pull them down the back, promoting that nice tall posture. Inhale up. Exhale down the back. Inhale up. Exhale down the back. Now, if you want to, you could get the arms involved. Give yourself a little extra movement. Your body's going to tell you what it needs. Maybe we need a little more release. Maybe we need to make that movement just a little more dramatic, giving ourselves a deeper internal shoulder massage. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Go ahead and relax those arms down at the sides. I'm going to have you sweep the arms up one more time so we can stretch out the neck. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Length, length, length. Maintain that length in the spine as you exhale and drop both arms down. Once those arms point straight down, just drop the right ear over to the right shoulder. Now we're just getting a nice long stretch in the neck down from the earlobe all the way to the collarbone. Maybe you reach out that opposite arm, not too far, but just to deepen that stretch a little bit. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take another inhale, and on your next exhale, I want you to turn your nose down towards the floor, looking away from that outstretched arm. Now we're stretching the very tip top of our spine, our cervical spine. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Go ahead and turn the nose back to center. Bring the head back up to center. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale, drop it over to the other side. Maybe stretching out that opposite arm. Not a lot, just enough to deepen that stretch from the earlobe down to the collarbone. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. On your next exhale, you'll turn that nose down towards the floor, towards the opposite armpit, and just notice what you notice. One side of the neck is always very different than the other. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Turn the nose back to center. Bring the head back to center. You can give yourself any kind of wiggle or any kind of movement you need. There are so many other things we can do here, but I'm going to take you through a dexterity exercise, a hug, and then we'll move on. Hold up your left hand like you're holding a little plate, and with your right hand, you're just going to take the pinky and bend it back on the exhale. Being very gentle with the fingers, moving over to the ring finger, exhale, bend it back, over to your middle finger, and don't let me rush you. Now, if you do any dexterity activities, quilting, bowling, sewing, gardening, this is a really good stretch for you, very gently with the thumb. After you're done with that left hand, give those fingers a little wiggle. Move right over to the right, like you're holding that little plate, and then bend the right pinky back. Over to the ring finger. Middle finger, being very gentle with those knuckles, just noticing the difference one side and the other, index finger, and very gently with the thumb. You can give all those fingers a little wiggle. From here, sit up nice and tall in your chair one more time. Inhale, open those arms. And as you exhale, give yourself a big hug. Grab onto those shoulders, stack those elbows on top of each other. Give yourself a squeeze. You might even rock side to side. You might give yourself a little sway. One breath here, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale, relax. So that concludes our very brief seated stretches or our seated yoga practice. Kudos to you for getting that done. You can do all kinds of things there. Leg lift, hamstring stretch, shoulder rotations. For the sake of time, we're going to move on. But take inventory of the body. What do you feel? What do you notice in the body after you do some kinds of stretches, whether they're big, small, shallow, deep, whatever is particular to your body? Just pay attention to how it affects your physical makeup, right? Is there a release of any kind of muscle tightness? Is there a slowing of the breath? And then pay attention to what it does to the mental makeup. Is there maybe less anxiety than what we were feeling before, a little less stress, a little more organization with the thoughts? That's typically something I notice after a yoga practice. Feel free to type in the chat, let me know what you experienced. We're going to get a little deeper into the aesthetic side of menopause and the changes we just experienced through life as women. Today is all about being with the body. A woman will experience a number of physical changes during menopause beyond having their last period. Now, externally, she will notice new lines, new hairs, or maybe less hairs, new dimples and dips on the canvas of her body. How she perceives herself is key. Aesthetic changes to the body do not mean negative changes to the mind. You are in control of the positivity that you give yourself. The things you say to yourself and the things you say to that woman looking back at you in the mirror are important. Everything you say to that woman is important. Make your thoughts meaningful. Make your thoughts positive and compassionate. Be kind to yourself. Now, internally, through a journey of hormone changes, hot flashes, and libido shifts, a woman will also have to live through a number of attitude changes, perception challenges, and waves of unexpected demanding emotions. Raise your hand if you've experienced some of these things. How she copes with all of these things will affect her everyday quality of life. Going through menopause is a great challenge, but also a great honor. I hope I'm lucky to get there one day. Now, I've heard from a lot of different women about those aesthetic changes. I'm going to use my mother as an example because she's gone through the menopause journey and everything, and she says things to herself in the mirror that hurt my heart a little bit. Even when I compliment her or I say something about my own appearance because we look so similar, she'll say, I was young and beautiful once. And it's so sad to me because I see my mom as still this beautiful woman. I mean, I hope I look just like her forever and ever. I think she's gorgeous. Those things affect your mental health. I've seen it firsthand. Saying those things, even if you think you're joking, the mind and the body are listening. How you perceive yourself is really key through this journey. So say positive things to yourself. And if you need to write it on the mirror or a sticky note, do that. We're going to get a little deeper into this long list of symptoms of menopause. I know this isn't just a physical journey. All of these other symptoms probably make the physical portion of it harder, right? It's hard to do yourself as sexy when you're just dripping sweat because you're going through a hot flash. This is the reality of it. So I don't mean to be Pollyanna like this whole journey is all roses. I'm only putting this on here to remind you to be kind to yourself. This is hard. Going through this is really hard. And again, I haven't been lucky enough to experience it, but sure, hot flashes, night sweats, a racing heart rate, new dry skin, and losing hair. This would be an incredibly hard journey to go through. You can acknowledge that without getting sucked into it. Unfortunately, there are some things we don't have a lot of control over. I encourage you to have conversations with your community members and especially with your doctor about any of these symptoms. You do not have to keep all of this to yourself, whether it's hot flashes or hair loss. All of this is valid. Any concerns you have through your menopause journey, please talk to your healthcare provider about it. Someone has gone through the same issue you have, right? Most of us are lucky enough to get there and go through it. And thank goodness there's never been a better time to talk about this, as these things are becoming less and less taboo every single day. Now, a lot of us get stuck on the whole weight gain, hair loss, or hair thinning aspect. We get stuck on this aesthetic issue. When we look in the mirror, maybe we don't like what we see, or maybe we have some negative feelings about some of the physical changes that we're experiencing. Now, I'm circling this just to show you what a small symptom this is and compared to all those other huge things going on with your emotional health and your body. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's hard to, focus on weight gain when there are so many other changes happening in our lives that may be influencing that. This is a journey. Now, just because there are hormone changes doesn't mean that we can't appreciate the body where it is. Lots of things are changing in the body, and you're going to have to give yourself grace as you go through these brand new growing pains. The science behind self-love through touch is fairly new in terms of science, but it is not new at all in terms of human nature. So our practice today is going to include a little bit of massage. You're going to physically give yourself love by touching the body. I went to a yoga class once where at the beginning of class, our instructor gave everyone just a small little bit of lotion And that's never happened to me before. So we all had that next to us. We went through our stretches and our practice. And before we went into final relaxation, she told us all to open our lotion, and she took us through a body massage. And she went through, massaging the neck and maybe touching the temples, the shoulders, the arms. So that's where we're going today. Now, this isn't a new thing. Now, physical sensation is an important part of communicating love, protection, comfort. Touch can be incredibly soothing, and it's a natural human response to dealing with stress. If you've ever dealt with someone post-seizure or going through a traumatic episode, or someone in shock, typically they tell you to rub them, to wake up their physical senses, to get them to be present. You might put a child in distress in a hot bath to get them to cool down. So the physical sensation of touch really has an effect on our emotional health and our well-being. Putting hands over your heart, as we talked about in one of our previous presentations, releases dopamine and serotonin. This gives the body a signal: I am safe, I am loved, I can handle this. So this physical aspect goes so far beyond aesthetics. Sending yourself love regardless of what you see in the mirror and how it may not be exactly what you want to see. It may help us kind of release that idea of exactly what we want to see and increase and cultivate that idea of being exactly who we are, exactly where we are supposed to be in this present moment. Giving yourself tactile cues can reduce cortisol levels in the brain. So this hands over your heart exercise is a really good way to release some stress. So all those symptoms we're dealing with, when we feel a little stressed about it, first of all, let's know that that's normal. And let's also use some of the tools that we have to cope with those things. Now, self-massage has also been said to alleviate both physical and mental discomfort. So putting your hands on your own body with love and acceptance will help you cope with the natural changes you see throughout life. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat. I know this is a big concept, and it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to keep a positive mental attitude when things aren't exactly how we want them to be. But part of this is releasing the things that we don't have control over. And unfortunately, none of us can control time or Mother Nature. So let go of what you can't control. Body positivity affirmation practices help us appreciate the body beyond our physical appearance. Focus on what your body has given you and what it has given others. Your body provides nourishment through the food you digest, through the absorption of sunlight and converting it to vitamin D. Your body can express and accept affection, whether it's through a hug, a kiss, a kind gesture. Your body can express accomplishments. Think of when you win a race, raising your hands up over your head, patting someone on the back, providing a handshake or a high five. We wouldn't be able to communicate or accomplish any of these wonderful things without this amazing machine, this vessel that we have been gifted. So let the negative thoughts kind of float out of your mind. Leave your thoughts entirely free. Leave plenty of room for self-love and self-compassion. So if at any point today, because I'm going to talk about the body from head to toe, if I say, release the muscles around your eyes, and you think, oh gosh, I hate my cheekbones, just invite that thought to leave your mind. Right, there it is. Oh, that happened. I noticed it, and just move on. You don't have to replace it with anything. If you replace it with something like, yeah, I really love my jawline, that's great. Bonus points for you. But for now, let's just focus on alleviating those negative thoughts and leaving space for self-compassion. Leave space for self-compassion. We are so good at looking for the negative, not just as women, but as human beings. We are so good at looking at things that could be altered, that could be better, especially for us perfectionists. That's not what this practice is about. This practice is about appreciating and loving yourself exactly where you are, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So let's go ahead and jump into our practice. Feel free to type any questions in the chat as we go through this. Oh, excuse me. As you're seated in your chair, we're going to do a little bit of physical massage, and then we'll get into a meditation practice. So I'll cue you when it's time to just kind of relax. And if you want to lean back in your chair at that time, that's absolutely okay. I'm going to scoot back again so you can kind of see me. Now, I don't have any lotion for all of you, but if you have it handy, you could absolutely do that. We're actually going to start with a hand massage. So just starting to wake up the hands, wake up the fingers. Start to squeeze into the palms. If you've got long nails, maybe you can feel your nails on the palms. Notice your nail color, notice your nail beds, notice your knuckles bending and flexing, notice the curl of your fingers through that movement. I want you to interlace your fingers if you can. I want you to give them a squeeze, pushing the palms of your hands together. Take a deep breath in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And on your exhale, relax. We'll do that again. Hold the fingers together, lace up those hands, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, relax. You'll see me opening the fingers away from myself. I'm just inviting some of that negativity to leave my mind and my body. Let's do one more. Lace those fingers together, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, release gently. Think about your hands and all the wonderful things that they've done to you, appreciating them as they are. Take your right hand and just squeeze it onto your left forearm. Give it a couple squeezes up and down. Notice your muscles, notice the skin, notice squeezing different areas of the forearm and the reaction you get in the hand below, whether it's stretched out fingers or curling knuckles. Move that right hand up to your bicep. Give yourself a little squeeze. You can circle the thumb around the ditch of your elbow or dance your fingertips around the bend in your elbow. As you're crawling yourself up the tricep, go ahead and squeeze into your shoulder. Give yourself a little massage. Maybe you push the thumb right at the end of the collarbone and give it a few circles. Maybe you take your index and your middle finger and start to crawl behind the shoulder and kind of dance around the base of your neck. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Go ahead and release that hand, set it down. Take your left hand and go ahead and give the right forearm a squeeze. Giving yourself a little massage. Now again, we're practicing kindness. Any of those negative thoughts, we're just inviting them to leave, and we're leaving lots of room for self-compassion as we gently move up to the upper arm. Maybe dancing the fingers around the elbow. Maybe giving the thumb a few circles in the ditch of the elbow. Just noticing. Just notice what you notice. Give everything a squeeze. Moving up to the shoulder. Give yourself a little shoulder massage. Maybe we take that thumb and we make a few circles around the collarbone. Maybe we take those fingers and kind of dance around the back of the shoulder. I invite you to take both hands and both sets of fingers and place them at the base of your neck and kind of squeeze and walk those fingers around. I'm just bending one and then the other, kind of dancing back and forth, up and down the neck. If it feels good, you might bow the head forward. And when you're ready, go ahead and release those hands from the body. Placing the hands palms down on the legs, give your quads a little squeeze. So I'm just squeezing my legs, letting the muscles relax, letting them be heavy. When you're ready, you can release the hands from the legs. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Find a nice tall seat. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. When you're ready, I'm going to cue you to lean all the way back in your chair. Lay the hands wherever they can be comfortable. Maybe they're on the arms of your chair. Maybe they're in the lap. I invite you to have palms down. Now we're cultivating a lot of that grounding energy, the be here now kind of energy. So with palms down, I invite you to close the eyes or maybe just soften your gaze, find a spot on the floor. And just breathe. Notice yourself breathe. Notice yourself breathe in. And notice yourself breathe out. Notice yourself present in this moment. Let the mind catch up with the body. Feel the body exactly where it is right now. If you're seated in a chair, feel the chair supporting you. Feel the surface under your body. Feel your feet flat on the floor, connected to the earth beneath you. Continue to breathe as you find yourself completely present, noticing exactly where you are, exactly how you are, and recognizing that there's nowhere else you need to be right now. There's nothing else you need to do. Simply be. Take a deep breath in. Exhaling out slow and controlled. Making each exhale a little bit longer. Sending a message to the body that we are safe. We can relax. We can handle this. Bringing your attention to your physical makeup. Notice yourself heavy and relaxed in your chair. Notice the physical sensation of breathing as you inhale. Notice the chest expand and rise. As you exhale, notice the belly concave and the chest fall. One more breath. Now with the eyes soft or the eyes closed, I want you to bring your mental awareness right to the crown of your head. Breathing into each individual hair follicle. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Keeping your awareness right on the crown of your head, recall a time where you stood up for yourself. Recall a time where you had to lift your chin and hold your head high even when it was difficult. Send yourself appreciation right to the very tip-top crown of your head for keeping you tall and upright through these years. Bring your awareness to your forehead, your eyebrows, and your eyes. Unfurrowing your brow, letting the eyebrows relax. And in your mind's eye, appreciating all the emotions you've expressed just through the forehead. Appreciating all the beautiful things your eyes have seen. Practicing gratitude for the tears that they have cried. The winks, the blinks, the sleepful nights, the sleepless nights. Bring your awareness to your cheekbones. Recall every smile, every frown. Bring your awareness to your lips, your mouth. Give yourself some gratitude for the messages that you have sent others, for the kisses you've given, for the smiles you've received, for the incredible laughter you've experienced. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Letting the jawbone relax and letting the tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Let your awareness roll to the neck. Noticing that space between our head and the rest of our body, keeping us tall and upright. Keeping our wonderful mind, our brain, our sense of being up on a pedestal where it belongs. Notice the breath. Notice the air passing through your pulmonary system, keeping you alive and nourishing every cell in your body working like a machine, like a tool, keeping you alive completely effortlessly. Deep breath in. Bring your awareness to your heart, that muscle in your chest, pumping blood throughout your body, circulating it through, providing the brain and all the muscles and organs with oxygen. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Notice how effortless and how natural, how organic your heartbeat is. Completely unique to you, like a fingerprint. Bring your awareness to the shoulders. Let them drop down away from the ears. Appreciate in the moments they've shrugged or swam or hugged others. Bringing your awareness to those arms and recalling all the wonderful people that they've wrapped themselves around. Keeping awareness in those arms and maybe the presents that they've wrapped, maybe the meals they've prepared. Rolling your awareness into your hands and thinking about all the art projects that they've accomplished, all the phone calls that they've dialed on a keypad, and the letters they've written. Sending little messages to those parts of the body, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, even each individual knuckle. Say thank you. Say thank you to your fingernails for scratching all your mosquito bites. Say thank you to your fingers for hitting the buttons on the telephone. Say thank you to your thumbs for sending those messages to people you love. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Bring your awareness to the belly, acknowledging for just a moment the wonderful and magical digestive system that lives within us. Acknowledging and appreciating that the food that we take in, our body breaks down with ease and steals only what it needs to nourish us. Appreciating this system as what it is. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Being kind to ourselves, not just aesthetically, but internally, saying thank you to the esophagus, to the stomach, to the liver. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Thank you. And as we think about the external side of our belly, noticing the rise and fall as we breathe, knowing that we can always come back to the breath as an anchor to appreciate that natural rhythm. Deep breath in. Noticing the movement of the belly and appreciating it for exactly what it is. If you're comfortable, I invite you to put the hands on the belly and send it some love. Deep breath in. Thank your digestive system for keeping you alive. Thank that thin layer of fat underneath the skin for protecting your organs. Thank yourself for that beautiful organic rhythm of breathing, effortless and natural. Place those hands, palms down on your thighs again as we move our awareness through the reproductive system, the hips and the upper legs, being so grateful for what the body has given us, for the things it has done. The hinging of the hips when we need to bend over and pick something up off the floor, the mechanism connecting our legs to the rest of our body that allows us to walk and squat and get up and in and out of bed. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Noticing those legs heavy in your chair and letting the muscles relax as much as possible, breathing into those muscles. Noticing a release in tension in the joints, the hips, the knees, even the ankles. Letting those joints be loose and soft, breathe into them. Roll your awareness up and down the legs, appreciating all the miles you have walked. Appreciating the places that those legs have carried you. Appreciating and recalling those moments where you stood somewhere you never thought you would be. Sending a little love to your ankles. Sending a little love to your heels, your feet, the soles of your feet, for helping you stand tall, for helping you walk through difficult journeys, for helping you run towards love and positivity and self-compassion and all the things that amplify our well-being. Give yourself that reminder to continue walking in that direction of self-compassion. Even sending a little love to your toes, the times they've wiggled or curled or even stubbed themselves on the table, because there's no better thing to connect us to the present moment sometimes than that. Let a deep sense of awareness roll through the body. Keeping the eyes closed if it's comfortable, starting from the crown of your head and rolling all the way down through the forehead, the cheekbones, the neck, the shoulders, relaxing the arms, letting the muscles be loose, letting the belly be soft, letting the hips relax, heavy legs, loose knees, and relaxed joints, the ankles, all the way through each individual toe knuckle. Breathe into this deep sense of relaxation. Breathe into this deep sense of appreciation, noticing your body as a vessel and a tool and a machine capable of expressing love, capable of protecting you, capable and effortlessly keeping you alive through its breathing, its circulation, its digestion, its sleep system, its immune system, its reproductive system, literally providing life to others. Deep breath in. Maybe you let the corners of your mouth curl into a gentle smile as you give yourself a deep sense of appreciation and love for the body. I welcome you to keep the arms relaxed, or you can join me and give yourself a hug, grabbing onto those shoulders and stacking those elbows on top of each other, letting the arms rest gently against the chest as you give yourself a squeeze. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take at least 2 more deep breaths here. Relish this moment. Recognize your natural superpower to cultivate love. Recognize That love starts from within. Appreciating your body exactly as it is, exactly where it is, without the need to alter anything. One more deep breath. Send yourself a little love, a little self-compassion, and I invite you to release those arms. As the hands make their way back to your lap, I invite you to slowly blink those eyes open. Maybe give the head a rock side to side. Maybe you wiggle the fingers and the toes, kind of wake up the physical body. You might roll the shoulders around. If you need any other messages of self-compassion or love, I invite you to send those to yourself now. After each of our mindfulness and meditation practices, and each one I do personally, I think it's a good idea to reflect. So notice how that felt. If you could answer that question, what would you say? How did that feel? What do you notice about the body? Are there areas that are a little more relaxed than others? Were there areas that kept popping up in your mind that you're particularly hard on yourself about? That's normal. That's normal. That's an opportunity to practice compassion. Remember, there is no such thing as a bad meditation. The only kind is that you don't do. So any meditation is a good one, even if we do have those very human, natural, negative thoughts pop up. So be kind to yourself. And I always ask, what do you notice about the mind? Those thoughts that pop up, you just notice. And that's all mindfulness is just saying, oh, there's that thought again. I noticed. You don't need to do anything with that information. So through this practice, the more often you do it, of course, sending the body love and appreciating the body for more than just a physical vessel, offering yourself gratitude for the things you have done with this vessel, the places you've traveled, the people you've hugged, the meals that you've prepared, the art that you've created, the things that you've done, deep accomplishments and ways that you have expressed love to your own body. I mean, even just going for a walk or exercising every single day, feeding your body the right things, hydrating yourself, making sure you're getting plenty of sleep. That's a way to show your body love. Our physical makeup goes so far beyond our physical appearance. Now, I still want you to love what you see in the mirror. And I know some days it's harder than others. And I think that's true at any age, but especially going through the menopause journey. So practice self-love, practice a little bit of kindness, and find something that works for you in order to do that. With that, I'm going to open it up to questions. If you have any questions about body positivity, please feel free to chime in. I haven't seen anything pop up in the chat, but I'm going to ask Kim if I missed anything. Kim, how do you feel?
Hi, Skylar. Yes, that was wonderful. I really enjoyed all the practices today. You know, starting out with the stretch and the movement felt so good. And I love that you added the hug. I always try to give myself a hug after an exercise or a practice, just, because it feels good.
It feels good. Yeah, and who else is going to congratulate you but you?
Exactly. I know you covered a lot of different things today as far as, self-love and so forth. And, earlier you mentioned accepting ourselves where we are and not where we want to be. And I think that that is a very strong statement. And, your body positivity practice that you just did really targets that and helps with that. But are there any other practices that we could kind of lean on that can also help with accepting ourselves?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked. A lot of physical movement is actually really good for this. And now a lot of us are in the place where we don't want to go out and dance or hike anymore, when in fact that might be the very thing that you need. Dance or yoga, any kind of physical movement, is a really great way to express yourself physically and also just appreciate your body where it is. Any kind of exercise, I'm always a huge advocate for that, even if it's just going for a walk through your neighborhood, or if it's something a little more intense like strength training, or maybe a little more fun-based like Zumba. All really good opportunities to enjoy the body and just appreciate where you are and not where you should be. And the last thing I'll say, because nobody needs an excuse to get a facial or a manicure, but you could do that. Pampering yourself is a really, really good way to appreciate the body. And a lot of women, especially moms or caregivers, have a really hard time doing this because they're so used to caring for other people. Sometimes the menopause journey is actually the perfect opportunity to start doing those things that you always put off for yourself. Get a massage, get a pedicure, get a manicure or whiten your teeth or whatever is going to make you feel really, really good about yourself.
Yeah. Yes, I
Mhm.
agree with that. Would it also help to make a list of things that we do like about our bodies and remind ourselves each day?
Yes, yes. Thanks, Kim. Absolutely. And I've heard this from a lot of other advocates, and even through that practice, putting hands on the belly and just sending love to the belly. I don't think it's cheesy or corny at all to literally say those messages in your head. I love my belly. I love my thighs. I love my biceps. And making a list of things that you do love about yourself. I've got really pretty eyes, or I've got a great smile, or even beyond that, when I laugh, it's infectious. Writing those down is just a really good way to trigger and classically condition the mind that we love ourselves, and that's the goal.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that there's any info on other cultures that are body neutral, body positive?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I didn't include a culture component in this one, but gosh, in the United States of America, we sure are hard on old people. We are hard on folks going through later stages of life. We have less respect. I don't want to offend anybody, but other cultures are very respectful of folks as they go through those later stages in our life. In the United States, we don't see that quite as much. And then aesthetically, Americans are just really, really hard on themselves in general, and especially women. Women in the United States seem to have a much higher expectation of having a youthful hair color or a youthful look or things like that, whereas other cultures, we don't see that as much. Old age and gray hairs are really seen as kind of like a badge of honor and a testimony to the wisdom you have through your age. So yes, be kind to yourself. There's a lot of cultural components through the aging journey.
Yeah, yeah. Well, besides the body changes, how much do you think about fears and negativity getting older contributes to the issue? Because you talked about that just now about, accepting people as they're getting older, but yeah, what do you think about that?
I'm glad you say that. I work with senior citizens almost every day, so I hear just the full spectrum of how people deal with all of those changes. I think there's a general fear about getting older in general because it's the great unknown, and we all want to feel the way that we did when we were 18 and had all this energy and seemingly extra time. But unfortunately, it's really hard to accept those things. I think being positive about the wisdom you have, the places you've gone, the experiences you've had is a really good thing because you definitely didn't have that when you were 18, right? Experiencing and where you are now is a really good thing. And when we talk about aesthetically, appreciating how you look and doing the things you need to do to kind of boost yourself up and pamper yourself is always a good opportunity. I will say fear can keep us from doing a lot of things. In particular, the fear of falling or fear of socialization. I'm going to send a message. Don't let that fear control your life. Folks who are afraid of falling typically never leave the house, or folks who are afraid of socialization, or maybe they don't feel so good physically, so they never go out. Isolation and lack of socialization is actually a huge health issue. It has really negative health side effects, so please don't isolate yourself if you can help it. And a fear of falling will prevent you from doing the activities that you want to do. So as we're going through our older years, talk to your doctor, continue to socialize, and do good things for your body. Do good things for your body to alleviate those fears, like exercise, drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of sleep, doing whatever you can do to say, yes, this is where I am, and I'm not 18 anymore, but I'm still doing good things for myself and my health.
Right. Oh, fear can be so powerful, can it?
Yes, it can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Skylar, thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. And you've done so much for us throughout the year with all the wonderful webinars that you've done. And we're so grateful for everything that you've done. And At the beginning, you talked about all the different topics that you presented this year, to help us cope with our menopause symptoms. And I just want to let everyone know that you can find these recordings of these webinars on our positivehealth.com/webinar site. And now you'll also be able to find them on our Positive Health YouTube channel. And then we do have our most recent release of our podcast series, where we've had Denise Shields join us to talk about feeling grief during the menopause journey. And she did a webinar presentation for us, and now has been a guest on our podcast series, and is just full of some wonderful knowledge to help you, manage through some of those things that come up, with the loss of some of the things that you used to enjoy, and now you may have to do without. So please tune into that podcast episode by visiting our positivehealth.com/podcast site, or you can listen in on any of these channels at Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And if you are not a member already of our Positive Health program, you can still sign up for that, or if you know someone who might be able to benefit from it, and you can do it as easy as going to our positivehealth.com/membership site, and you can join in on this pilot program, which offers a holistic one-stop digital health experience supporting your body, your mind, your spirit during the menopause journey. And the slide says it's free till December 31st, but we have extended that out to March 31st. So sign up if you have not already done so. And then I also want to mention our community. We have a wonderful community of people that have joined in to support each other. Maybe you're sharing a story or listening to someone else's, or learning about some new resources that are available. If you want to have that kind of community feel while you're going through the menopause journey, you can get more information on how to get started by emailing us at info@positivehealth.com. All right, love this slide here, beautiful bouquet, and I would like to extend that out to you, Skylar, for all that you've done. You are a beautiful individual, and I just can't thank you enough for everything you do for our Positive Health initiative.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kim. And please extend my thanks over to Colette. Your community is great. I believe in what you're doing. I think this is a wonderful thing. I'm so happy I got to be a part of it. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks, and hope you all have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.